Welcome to Midweek News episode 135. We're late again, but the show must go on. Let's get into the show. Switching to Linux, 4 rookie mistakes. Mistake number 1, trying to disable security pop-ups. These are not the same as you've seen on Windows and macOS. Take some time to evaluate and research before going scorched earth. Mistake 2, expecting everything to be the same as your previous operating system. Let's face it, not everything is going to be in the same place or operate in the same way as your previous OS. Even switching to a new version of Windows or macOS may introduce changes that seem disorienting for a period of time. Mistake number 3, deleting a Linux dual boot partition without modifying grub. I have not personally recommended dual booting since before 2010, but if you insist on doing it, consider using 2 separate SSDs for the task. You can get a removable bay for a 2.5-inch SSD and have one for Windows and a second for Linux. If you're using a single drive, make sure you back up early and often to avoid disaster. Mistake number 4, tunnel vision over one distribution. Unlike Windows and macOS, there is not a single Linux, whether that be Linux desktop or other aspects. Take a few for a test drive. There's a high likelihood that you won't end up using the first one you try in the long run. In my case, I started with Red Hat Linux in 1998 and now mostly run Debian-based systems. Linux hit 6% market share according to one source. Slowly but surely, the Linux market share is increasing. Whether this is due to the impending demise of Windows 10 or the unique situation we find ourselves in with international trade, there is a shift happening more than at any time in the past. How long this shift will last is anybody's guess. Intel cuts Clear Linux. The project that was optimized for Intel chips has been buried behind the barn. With all the other issues at Intel currently, they wanted to divert resources elsewhere. While Clear Linux is gone, Intel will continue to contribute to the broader Linux ecosystem. Starship customization for your shell. Starship has some useful features for making your shell of choice a little less boring. The article appears on a Linux-centric site, but Starship will work with more than just Bash. You can use Starship with macOS and Windows as well, and install it with Homebrew or WinGet respectively. If you head to the Starship website, starship.rs, you will find instructions on a far wider variety of operating systems and base shell environments. Learn Linux by playing games. These are games that will challenge you to learn Linux commands in a way that may be less dry. Your mileage may vary, but there are some gems here that we may need to test during a future live stream. WebCamControl New Release. WebCamControl is a piece of Linux software built to control the Insta360 link. Version 1.1.0 has just been released, which includes allowing different cameras to be selected when multiple cameras are being controlled, default to the camera with the highest resolution, and allow multiple instances to be opened at the same time for controlling multiple cameras. Solid improvements. I'm looking forward to testing some of these out. Ubuntu 25.10 to support experimental TPM full disk encryption. A feature that is sure to be controversial amongst Linux users is the experimental TPM-backed full disk encryption. While this is an experimental feature and likely to be mostly used in businesses and for laptops, it will obviously be unavailable to those running Ubuntu on older Windows 10 era PCs. If you're going to use this, even after it gets a full release, make sure you have a rock-solid backup procedure in place. I can see this being a potential disaster for some users who will end up locking themselves out and losing access to their data. macOS Tahoe 26, Developer Beta 4 and 5. These betas are aimed at developers looking to test that their software will work on the upcoming release. It is always interesting to follow the development of a macOS release that is going to change so many things. I will not likely upgrade until the first point release comes out, likely in early 2026, as that will give some time to get any remaining bugs worked out and to verify that Camtasia will run on the new version. Microsoft to boost Windows 11 25H2 performance. We've heard the claims before. We can hope they follow through this time. The article is largely unreadable due to the ads, and there's not much of real substance here. FFMPEG is coming in August. The new version will introduce new decoders, video acceleration API, enhanced flash video support, and many other enhancements. Given that so many video products are built on the back of FFmpeg, it will be interesting to see how quickly they can start taking advantage of the new features. Shotcut 25.07 editor released. In this version, you can now download speech-to-text models on demand instead of having them bundled in the installation. It includes a major overhaul to the UI and some quality-of-life polish. There are also several bug fixes rounding out this release, the biggest of which may be addressing macOS 15 hardware encoding issues. You can find more in the release announcement. Virtualbox licensing shenanigans. Long story short, Virtualbox has changed licensing for its extension pack. The extension pack is now under commercial license and no longer part of the PEUL or personal use and evaluation license. This seems to be mainly through Virtualbox website. Allegedly, you can sign up for a free account with Oracle Software Delivery Cloud and continue to access the free version. The comment section is pretty interesting on this one, calling Crazy Larry Ellison from Oracle something that rhymes with runt. The bottom line is that with many of the compelling features that were once in the extension pack being merged into the main product under GPL3, the extension pack is no longer strictly needed. I will be very cautious if I release any future Virtualbox content. Proton releases free open source Authenticator app. Proton has released an Authenticator app that runs on Android, iOS, Linux, macOS, and Windows. I have been testing this for potential use at my day job, and I'm pretty impressed so far. If the chart in the article is to be believed, this is the only open source cross-platform Authenticator app available. Most are mobile only, or at least mobile first. This app can be seen as a standalone complement to the existing Proton Pass, which already has existing 2FA features. Certainly, this is an exciting product to look at. Choice is good. RustDesk 1.4.1 adds terminal and stylus support. With the updates of this release, they really could have jumped the version to 1.5 or 2.0. Here's the list. Terminal support, UDP and IPv6 punching, stylus support, enforcement of secure TCP connections for login sessions, plus some bug fixes. For Macs, the resolution handling issue has been sorted. For Windows, there were multiple fixes, the most notable of which were crashes on 32-bit camera connections. For Linux, the RustDesk app image now shows its icon properly. You can find the full list of changes in the changelog. OPNSense 25.7 has been released. This release features a refined front end, SFTP backups, and FreeBSD 14.3 under its pretty front end. I've already upgraded and the experience has been smooth as butter. You can head to the release announcement for the full list of changes. RVA23 RISC-V chips are coming real soon now. At the recent RISC-V Summit in China, several RISC-V products were shown which all support the RVA23 extension level. Details in the article don't point to exact release dates, but I would expect that they will want to capitalize on the fact that Ubuntu 25.10 will be able to take advantage of the new features and potentially drive sales. And that will do it for this week's Midweek News. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.